Opening day is coming sooner than we think, and the Pittsburgh Pirates have a lot of decisions to make in terms of how they want to construct their roster. In today's video, I will be presenting my way too early 2023 opening day roster prediction for the Pittsburgh Pirates, so be sure to stay to the end of the video, that way you don't miss any of the players that I discuss. Let's get into it. Leading off the rotation, I have Roansy Contreras becoming our opening day starter after having a solid 2022 rookie season, posting a 3.79 ERA, a 4.38 FIP, struck out 86 batters, only walked 39, and had a 1.27 WHIP across 95 innings pitched and 18 starts, becoming one of the few bright spots in this rotation. With a lights-out fastball and solid breaking pitches, there is so much to like about this kid. Even at 23 years old, Roansy is expected to become the future ace of the Pirates rotation as long as he continues to develop, and now more than ever, we need him to produce and lead this rotation in 2023. Next up, I have Mitch Keller taking over the number 2 rotation spot behind Roansy Contreras. 2022 was a make-or-break year for Keller, and he finally had his breakout season for the Pirates, leading the team in innings pitched, games started, and was second in terms of strikeouts. Mitch Keller limited his walks and increased his strikeout percentage significantly. You could argue that Keller should be the opening day starter, but I think that Contreras has a little bit more upside and has better ace potential. As a solid number 2, Keller is bound to succeed, and I think that he will do great in that role. With 2 young flame-throwing righties at the top of the rotation, expect Contreras and Keller to be a dominant 1-2 punch. Taking over the number 3 rotation spot will be 43-year-old veteran left-handed pitcher Rich Hill. After being extremely consistent for almost 2 full decades as a starter, Hill is bound to eat a lot of innings for the Pirates and will be a great veteran presence for this young team. With one of the best curveballs in all of baseball, Hill is bound to rack up strikeouts and continue his success as one of the most consistent pitchers in recent memory. Hill is going to be a great mentor to our current pitching staff as well as our young pitching prospects that are bound to debut next season, but I wouldn't be surprised if he was a trade piece at the trade deadline for a contending team. At the number 4 spot, I have JT Brubaker squeezing into the rotation. While some Pirates fans aren't extremely high on Brubaker like I am, he's been a very solid innings leader in our rotation for the last few seasons, and that's pretty much what you're looking for a number 4 to number 5 starter. Last season, he led the team in strikeouts and was second in terms of innings pitched. As long as Brubaker doesn't completely implode, he'll be a solid number 4 starter for the time being. And to close out the rotation, I have a very controversial take. Recently signed free agent Vince Velasquez will make the starting rotation to start the season. Yes, I'm aware that Ji-Hwan Bae looked great for the Pirates last season. I'm not denying that. He deserves a rotation spot, and I completely agree. But behind the scenes, it seems like Ben Cherington and the Pirates front office want to see how Velasquez can do in the rotation before making a decision to transfer him to the bullpen. Velasquez does have elite stuff, but he's been pretty bad throughout his entire career as a starter. If Velasquez decides to have a career resurgence like Jose Quintana did last season, I expect him to be traded at the deadline. Moving on to the bullpen, I have Johan Oviedo and Chase DeYoung slotting in as our long relievers, Dwayne Underwood Jr., Harleen Garcia, and Rule 5 pick Jose Hernandez as middle relievers, Will Crow and Robert Stevenson as setup men, and all-star David Bednar will be our closer. Now it's time for the position players. At the starting catcher position, I have Austin Hedges slotted in behind the dish. Even though Hedges has been downright atrocious throughout his entire career, he does have some power upside and has been one of the best fielding catchers in all of baseball for the last decade. He has openly stated that he wants to be a mentor to young catching prospects Andy Rodriguez and Henry Davis, so he's going to be a great asset to our young catching duo and our young pitching staff in 2023. At first base and DH, I have Ji-Man Choi and Carlos Santana splitting time at both positions. Both players are exceptional fielders and have shown lots of power upside throughout their entire career. Carlos Santana has been an on-base machine throughout his entire career. He barely strikes out and draws a lot of walks, so he's going to be an immediate valuable upgrade at the position as a solid switch hitter. Choi does have strikeout issues, but he does collect walks, he gets on base at a fairly decent clip, and he's going to average at least 10 home runs a season, so he's bound to produce on offense. Carlos Santana is substantially better against lefties, while Choi is a little bit better against righties, so they form a perfect platoon duo at first base. At second base, I have young switch-hitting infielder Rodolfo Castro taking over the position. Castro impressed last season and showed a lot of positives to his game, especially with his ability to score runs and hit home runs, but he still had strikeout and fielding issues and struggled to get on base. However, Castro is still young at just 23 years old and still has a lot of developing to do, but he's going to improve and hold down the position next season. Locking down the third base position is none other than star third baseman Brian Hayes. Hayes is arguably one of the best fielding third basemen in all of baseball and is a Gold Glove candidate every single year. While his offense has slowed down in recent years, Hayes is bound to break out on offense and he will be locking down the position for years to come. As one of the cornerstones on this rebuilding team, Hayes is one of the bright spots that Pirates fans should be looking forward to watching next season. Slotting in at shortstop is the dominant young 6'7" phenom O'Neal Cruz. Following a solid rookie season where Cruz was third on the team in home runs and second in RBIs and slugging percentage, he is clearly the Pirates shortstop for this season. While Cruz does have fielding issues and struck out an abysmal 34.9% of the time at the plate, which was one of the worst in the entire league, he does have elite speed, great athleticism, a cannon of an arm, as well as elite power potential that could easily produce 25 to 30 home runs a season. So if he can limit the amount of strikeouts he easily has the potential to become a future superstar on this team. Moving on to the outfield, I have Pirates legend Andrew McCutchen taking over the left field position. After this signing became one of the most shocking news stories of this offseason last Friday, Kutch is bound to get some playing time at left field, DH, and right field depending on where the Pirates want him to play. While Kutch isn't the same offensive player that he was back in the 2010s, he is going to be a great veteran leader, an excellent clubhouse presence, and a mentor for this young team. He will hit at least double-digit home runs, get on base at a decent clip, and is bound to retire with the black and gold. At center field, I have star outfielder Bryan Reynolds locking down the position. Even with all the trade rumors spreading like wildfire, I still believe in my heart that Reynolds will not be traded before opening day. Bryan Reynolds led the team in home runs last season with 27 and has been an on-base machine every single year that he's been with us. While he isn't as good of a fielder in center field compared to left field, Reynolds is one of the best offensive outfielders in the entire league, so his offensive prowess outweighs his defensive struggles. Reynolds has been one of the few bright spots on this Pirates team for the last 4 seasons, and he is bound to have another successful season in 2023. And at right field, I have Jack Suwinski closing out the outfielders. After a decent rookie season, Suwinski showed a lot of power potential, finishing second on the team in terms of home runs with 19, but like fellow rookie O'Neal Cruz, he struck out a whopping 30.6% of the time at the plate and struggled to get on base. Luckily for Suwinski, our outfield depth in the minor leagues isn't great, so this is pretty much his job to lose. As long as he cuts down on the strikeouts, hits for a better average, and gets on base more often, he is going to have that position locked down for the foreseeable future. This kid has talent, there's no denying that. He just needs to fix some things. And finally, we have our bench players: Miguel Andujar, Tyler Heineman, Ji-Hwan Bae, and Connor Joe. I believe that Miguel Andujar will split time with Choi and Santana at DH and make some outfield appearances. Tyler Heineman will have the occasional start at catcher. Ji-Hwan Bae will platoon with Rodolfo Castro at second base and will make the occasional start in left and center field. And Connor Joe will platoon with Suwinski in right field and could potentially have some first base reps. This Pirates team looks significantly better compared to the 2022 Pirates opening day roster, but only time will tell if this team actually makes strides to not have another 100-loss season. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please consider leaving a like for more Pirates content, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what your thoughts are on this opening day roster prediction. Who do you want to make the team? With that being said, let's go Bucs.